So you might be having some issues with your PlayStation 5 controller where the bumper buttons up top are just not working. Now, what does this mean? Well, maybe you're in a game and you're trying to click on these buttons up top, and for some reason they're not responding. You may even have a working controller, but these buttons up top are just not working. Now, the first thing I would recommend doing, as always, is repairing your controller to your console or your PC or whatever you're playing with. So by doing this, basically what you want to do is basically hold down the PlayStation button, home button at the front until your controller completely turns off. So it usually takes 10 to 15 seconds. It takes a longer than you would expect. So hold it down, and then once the blue lights on the front basically turn off, that basically signifies that that controller is fully off. And all you want to do here is turn the controller back on and see if it is rediscovered by your console automatically. If it is, then it's set. If it's not, then you may want to plug it in manually from the top to that console or your PC if it's configured like that. Or you can hold the PlayStation home button here and that share button up top at the same time until the blue lights on the front start blinking rapidly. And then you can go and repair your controller to your console or PC or whatever. And you want to see if these buttons are now active. If that ends up being the case, then that was pretty much all you had to do. If they are still not active, another thing I would recommend doing is seeing if the portion of the game that you're in, or the character you're playing, or whatever you're doing, if they're actually going through and if these buttons are even, programmed correctly to actually play in that game. So you may want to make sure these buttons are even compatible with those games, but also if you're playing an emulator of some sort, you may want to make sure these buttons are mapped correctly to these specific buttons. Sometimes they may not be mapped up. You may assume they're mapped up, but they may not be. If your game has manual controls, you may want to go ahead and see if you can map them up manually to that game and see if they're discovered that way. Another thing you can try doing is to see if there's anything stuck within these buttons. Sometimes if you're not clicking them all the way or if you're just tapping them, that may not work. You have to actually click into the buttons all the way for them to work. And finally, another thing you can do is try updating the console you're on, updating the PC or the iPhone or Android you're playing with, and seeing if that will end up fixing the situation as well. So those are pretty much the main ways to do it. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.